guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Son of Batman, the new DC animated movie. And yes, this is an advanced review, so I won't be spoiling anything in this review. So, before I start, just want to say we will have a Media Madness episode for this once the DVD does release. We're not going to do it before that because we don't want to commentate the movie before it comes out. So we will be doing that in probably 3 weeks. I think that's when it comes out. I think it comes out on like a Tuesday or something. So that next day we'll have a Media Madness episode for. So we'll commentate the movie also. We're also going to have someone's going to review the movie on Comic Frontline also, and we're going to do a He Said, She Said. Let's talk about the movie. Let's talk about Son of Batman. I'm just going to say that haven't been totally impressed with all the DC movies coming out. All the DC animated movies that have come out in like the past, let's say, 3 years. I liked Flashpoint. I thought it was solid. Not one of the best ones, but I did really like Flashpoint. But I was really disappointed with Superman Unbound and Justice League War. I didn't really love them. And honestly, I didn't think they were really worth picking up. I think Superman Unbound was probably the least one I liked, and then it was Justice League War. But I didn't really like them. I thought they weren't really the best executed movies. So I did see the trailer for Son of Batman, and Damian's voice, I was like, ugh. I kind of stand back and was like, I don't know if I'm excited for this movie. Even though I'm a Damian fan. It took a long time to say that I'm a Damian fan. Like, you could check out old videos where I'd be like, I hate Damian, because it's true. I really did not like Damian because he's a very polarizing character. So this movie is for comic book fans and maybe for people that want to get into Damian's character. So we'll get into if he was likable here. Point being, I didn't know what to think about the movie beforehand, but I went open-minded, and let's see if I enjoyed it. So this movie, Origin of Damian, if you don't know who Damian is the son of Talia al Ghul and Batman. So Batman finds out he has a son with Damian. Damian's been training with the League of Assassins, so he's not a normal 10-year-old. He is an assassin 10-year-old. Think Hit Girl, except a boy and more arrogant, and you have Damian Wayne. There are some appearances from other characters, but mostly it's Damian, League of Assassins, and Batman. We get a little Nightwing, but I think that's mostly like, hey, we want Nightwing in this movie a little bit. Which when I saw Nightwing, I'm like, oh my god, thank you, Nightwing, because I love Nightwing. So I think awesome just to have a little Nightwing in this movie. I think it lightened the mood a little. There's some, and talking about lighting the mood, there were some good laugh chuckles here in this movie. I think it was a little forced. And getting into it, let's go into the bad of the movie, then we'll get to the good. Voice acting. I think going to the jokes, forced. It felt very awkward. That's the best way to put it. The voice acting wasn't great for most of the characters. Talia wasn't great. She is definitely an awkward voice actor, especially with her grunts, like when she was going into, where I won't spoil it, but when she's going somewhere, she made these grunts, and I'm like, oh, that doesn't sound that great. So that was the best voice acting. I would say Batman was pretty good in the movie. I don't know who voiced Batman, but he was pretty good. You know, pretty much the generic Batman we usually get. Alfred was pretty good. Damian, though. Damian. He has such a kiddie voice, and I never pictured that for Damian. Like, when I'm reading it, like, I picture a kid voice, but not that low-pitched. So I didn't love Damian's voice, but I'm going to say you get used to it as the movie goes on. It's not as annoying as those first 10 minutes. I would say that opening scene, you're like, God, Damian, stop talking! But yeah, the voice acting was, you got used to. But yeah, there was a lot of awkward points of the voice acting, so I would not say this is the best voice acting. It actually brought the movie down for me a little. And then we have the animation, which I think was very laggy, and you know, I watched it on my phone and I also watched it on my computer, and I think that because it wasn't laggy on either my phone or the computer, so it wasn't my platforms, but it just felt the action, like the added effects they had, like the sword, they had like added effects on it. wasn't smooth. Like, I saw the choreography was very good, really liked the choreography, but again, it was very laggy the way the animation was. I don't think it was perfect animation at all. It's really the same base animation we've been getting since Flashpoint, where it's like this anime-ish type thing and stylized, and it actually makes it, again, look laggy. I didn't love the action sequences here, but again, the actual sequences were good in this movie. It was just the way it was animated that it wasn't great. But honestly, those are my only complaints. I actually liked this movie. I thought this was definitely one of the better ones in recent years. I still like Flashpoint a little bit better. I think we got a little bit more out of that one. Because this story, like, if you know who Damian is, it's pretty much Damian. Like, you know the story. But yeah, I actually did like it. I thought the actual script was written really well. I liked the dialogue. It was just the voice actors that maybe didn't execute it the best that it could be. But yeah, the story was pretty good. I thought Damian and Bruce had some really cool moments. I think Damian, the big question was he likable? For me, who knows Damian, I thought he was likable in this movie. But I feel like for people that don't know Damian, he's a brat. I mean, like, you have to read the comics for a good amount of time to really like Damian. And honestly, I was flashing back to this Batgirl issue from Stephanie Brown, which is a great series, always recommend it. And there's this issue where Damian has to have fun. He goes undercover as like this second grader, and Steph, because she's the fun version for the Batgirl, the fun character for the Bat family, we get to see her teach Damian how to have fun, and I think that's something that could have been needed in this movie. Not saying that Stephanie Brown should be here, but maybe like Dick, you know, teaching him to have a little bit of fun, and I think that's something that should have been an added element to become more likable. Because I mean, with Damian, like, was he introduced as a likable character? No, he's not. He's not introduced as a likable character. But you grow to like him. And I'm afraid for people that haven't read the comics are just going to be like, he's an arrogant guy. Why would I like Damian? But for people that love Damian already, I think you know the character. And I think they do have a couple of scenes to kind of understand why he's so arrogant and the way he is. So I liked how they executed that. I honestly liked his relationship with Talia a lot. I thought that was executed really well. It seems like a confusing family because it is, but you can tell that they do love each other. And I think that was really well done, because I think that is hard to show that relationship. So I think the relationships in general in this movie were really great. And again, going to Nightwing again, it's cool to see that foreshadowing, because we know in the comic books they will be partners, and I guess in this movie, because it is pre-New 2, they will become partners. So I did like the interaction, and Damian making fun of the Robin costume. Also, I will state that this is not for kids, this movie. I was actually even talking to my mom about this, like, she was like watching something of the movies, like, oh, this is a cartoon, and like, is this for kids? I'm like, no, there's actually a lot of references here. It's not for kids. There's drug references, prostitutes in this movie. Yeah, so this movie is not for kids. A lot of gore, and I think recently they've been doing that a lot more with not being kid-friendly, which they could eliminate a lot of stuff here to make it a little bit more kid-friendly. Like, I know the gore was actually, you know, well done with the animation, and they could have probably kept that, but a lot of the references I don't think was really needed in this movie. Again, the prostitutes, the drug references, they were just tidbits that are in the movie that really weren't needed. That way, maybe you could have a better rating to have some kids watch it. I won't say kids, but like 8-10-year-olds, I would say. Because the gore, I think, is, I mean, I'm not going to tell, you know, depending on the child. But, I don't know. Like, I just felt like the references are going to make kids even less able to watch it. Like, I feel like with the gore, it's like, you know, there's a lot of gore in, like, PG-13 movies and everything. So it depends on that, but I feel like the references makes it even less kid-friendly, which, I don't know, I just don't really like the direction they're going with that, especially if it's not needed. Like, if the story's telling that, like, if we're telling Mia Dearden's story, go for it. That's part of the story, but you didn't really have to reference that in this movie, so that was a little gripe I had with the film. But honestly, I thought this was one of the better ones. I did have a couple gripes, again, that was more for execution of the movie, for animation and voice acting that kind of bugged me, but the story was pretty good. Is it the best story I've ever seen for these DC animated movies? No, but I thought it was pretty good for what we've been getting for recent years. I still think Flashpoint's a little bit better, but I'm going to give this a 3.75. I thought it was pretty good, and I would say, for me, I would Netflix it, but I think it's worth buying on DVD for a good price. So, if you could get it for, like, under $20, I do recommend this one on DVD, because I thought it was pretty good, especially if you're a Damian fan. I think you'll really enjoy this one. But please tell me in the comments below if you're a non-comic book fan and you enjoyed this movie, or if you're a comic book fan, a Damian fan, and you enjoyed this movie. Tell me your opinions in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno, and I will see you guys later. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno and the Rant Situations. Don't forget to like my Facebook page, and I'll see you guys later.